The first presidential debate of the election season. Both candidates will be back on the campaign trail today, including a stop in Chesapeake, Virginia, as former President Donald Trump teams up with Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin at a campaign rally this afternoon.
Now, last night's debate will certainly be a hot topic, so let's go live right now to Jared Hill down in Atlanta. Jared, good morning. Thanks for joining us. How are both teams feeling about their candidates' performance last night? Any reactions from either campaign?
Yeah, we have seen some reaction from both of these campaigns, actually, guys. And one of the things is the Biden team has been playing defense here. They're also trying to clean up what was seen, generally speaking, a pretty rough performance by President Biden. We saw last night Kamala Harris, the vice president, saying that this was not the best start for him, but trying to urge voters to pay attention to his track record and things that he's done since he's been in office. Meanwhile, on the flip side, we are seeing Trump's team, Trump's surrogates, really taking this as a moment to showcase that he was sort of virile and that he was a viable candidate and a viable potential president coming up in November. The thing with that, though, is that there were a number of false statements that were made by former President Trump during the debate, something that we're seeing the Biden team really trying to hammer home, saying that while the current president might have had a shaky performance, at least they say he was telling the truth.
Jared, you spoke with some undecided voters. What did they have to say after the debate?
So that's been interesting, is because, again, you got to remember, the undecided voters are the folks that both of these camps are really talking to if they're trying to sway anybody. And a lot of them said they didn't really get anything out of this debate. While there was some policy that was discussed, it wasn't really in-depth, they said. And so they were saying that while they hoped they would learn something new, that just didn't happen.
And Jared, we know that Mr. Trump has a campaign rally with Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin today in Chesapeake, Virginia. What can you tell us about that, as well as President Biden's plans for today?
Yeah, so when it comes to the rally in Chesapeake, remember, you guys know this as well as anybody else does, that this is a part of the country that is heavily military, and that's a base for former President Trump that is pretty strong. So he's going to be there giving a speech in front of a rally there. President Biden is going to be in North Carolina, and then he's going to be in New York. He stopped last night at a watch party here in Atlanta, and what was kind of interesting is that his tone, his energy were much different than what we saw on the debate stage. There have been some surrogates who said that if the same Biden that was at some of those events was on the debate stage, then he clearly would have won. And so again, it'll be an interesting moment for him and for his team to try and combat these allegations or concerns that he is too old to be president in 2025 and beyond.
Jared Hill reporting live for us down in Atlanta. Jared, thank you very much. So all morning long, we've been verifying claims made during the debate. You heard Jared touch on some of that, but our Marcella Robertson looked at two more claims coming up in about 7 minutes. We'll get into that. But in the meantime, if there's a claim that you want us to verify about the debate last night, text the number on your screen, 202-895-5599.